Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the NTT Indycar series here at the fabulous Milwaukee Mile. I'm Austin. I am joined by Sam Kumo in the commentary booth, and we are ready to go racing here in Milwaukee for one of the more unusual ovals on the calendar.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, unfortunately, Marco couldn't make it as he is busy watching some cars going sideways. But here we are at the Milwaukee Mile, and fortunately, I think this is one of the ovals that I actually know something about. I've driven here. Otherwise, mostly just on the road courses.
Yeah, Milwaukee does feature a road course, but the oval's very interesting. It's a flat oval. It has a little bit of banking as we're looking on board of Ty Kenneth, currently sitting in 6th place. I believe he's just setting some more laps, getting some practice in, as we have a 17-car field ready for y'all today. And there are some pretty big names here. We, of course, have our usual names, Oisin Walsh and Marco Acquia Brazil, Henry Bennett, Laura Gerhardt, John Downing, and all these guys have their own stories. Walsh and Brazil, keep an eye on them. Hopefully we don't have another Las Vegas incident, which gave us an amazing finish in Vegas. Adam Blocker is in P2, but as everybody grids up, I think it's time to actually just go through the grid.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a big grid this time around.
Starting up on pole, it's Henry Bennett with Adam Blocker right by his side. Marco Brazil in 3rd, followed up by Laura Gerhardt. She starts in 4th. John Downing in 5th. Ty Kiveth in 6th. Oisin Walsh in 7th. Riley Thompson. He's followed up by Shane Berg, Adam Plunkett, Paul Morgan, Will Lamb in 12th place. Right behind them is Thomas Geiser, Alberto Rodriguez, Aaron Rufus, Luka Lejevic, and Nick Atornia in P17. And can we get this race started now? I'm excited. Can you tell?
Yep, I can tell. I'm also excited. I think you were saying that this is a little bit different track than usual. It can be very slippery, and I think you were saying that we might be expecting guys to take a bit easier compared to the qualify, which we were kind of spectating, and so few drivers just practicing finding the limits and finding the walls as well.
A few more, like I believe 5 out of the 6 cars we watched in qualifying went into the wall.
And right now we are only waiting for John Downing and Aaron Roofs to take the grid. And there is John.
One pace lap, and then they are going to be let go, all in the clutches of Henry Bennett, who has got a pretty nice game. And I think Rufus might be starting for the pit lane.
Yeah, it
which
looks
is
like
not
maybe
advised.
just... Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is with 3 seconds to spare. Thanks, Adam. Aaron. Name.
As we wait for the pace car to start off. Everyone is off the grid. Henry Bennett leading the way, following the pace car.
Pace car rolls off, and we can see everyone's starting to go. Paul Morgan is had a little bit of a late start. I think there was a little bit of incident already between a few drivers, and I think that's why Morgan is 6 spots back. Yes, he's missing his front wing.
Well, that's not the best way to start the race, but unfortunately we cannot wait for him to repair it.
Yeah, unfortunately, pace car is not going to wait at all, as the pace car is going to pull in very late and lead it in for Henry Bennett and Adam Blocker to lead off this field to start up the NTT Indycar Series here at Milwaukee Mile, and we are green and ready to go racing.
And we also saw Paul Morgan pulling to the pits for the repairs right away.
And a great start from Brazil. He's jumped Blocker up onto the inside as Marco Acquia Brazil and Adam Blocker. We got a crash already in the back straight. Adam Plunkett coming out of the exit, hit the wall, and then another car. We're going to get a replay of that very soon, but wow. First lap drama for Adam Plunkett. We see him going around the outside right here, and I think a car came up on him. Oh, he just got loose.
Yeah, just got loose there on the 30 line on the outside. And just couldn't control it. And who was that? Another driver who got involved. I believe that might have been
that
Luca.
was the 10. No, that wasn't Paul Morden. It was the Golf car. Who's in the Golf car?
Golf car or Golf car?
Oh, it's the orange and blue car.
That is Thomas Geisler, I believe.
Yeah, Thomas Geisler. We can see his front wing missing. So he took a big hit from there.
Yeah, well, he still has half of it, but yeah,
Well,
wise decision to make the pit stop.
Yeah, he's going to the pits. I think he does have suspension damage. It's also somebody else going to the pit lane. That is Rodriguez heading into the pits as well. So, lap 1 of 150. Caution. How much more will there be?
I hope not too many.
Not too many. They're exciting, but, you know, restarts, they breed caution. Restarts, they breed caution babies, so... Some things might happen. I kind of expected this at the start. Usually, at most start of the races, we do get that. I remember in Vegas, we lasted about 10 laps, and then a caution happened, and then we had this long green flag run. Same with Phoenix in the desert.
Yeah, I guess like it's always like the worst lap. First lap is always the worst one. But
oh yeah, you
now
got people being
guys
too
have kind
ambitious.
of gotten their excitement out. Just get back to the racing, hopefully soon.
Pace car is going around one more lap, and then we're going to go back green for more racing here at Milwaukee Mile. Henry Bennett, great start for him. Adam Blocker got his second place back. I thought he was going to lose that drop-down spot, and actually, Marco Brazil, he went down to 4th place as John Downing moved up to 3rd place, and our biggest mover within one lap was Nick Atornia, moving up to 12th place, jumping 5 spots. I believe one of those was by a pit stop.
Yeah, it could have been also due to the issue
Incident
that Adam Plunkett had. Adam is still in the pits. Let's see, did Geisler get his front wing repaired? Yes, he did. So he is all ready to go. Yes, he got his
repaired. I want to see if he has suspension damage. That'd be very unfortunate if he does have suspension. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, everything looks normal there.
Yeah, it looks fine, but of course you don't really know until you get back up to the race speeds. But good, fortunately for him, he is all the way back right now, so he can just kind of get the feel for it.
Coasting the throttle and let it go. Speaking of somebody who's not just taking it easy, Henry Bennett's trying to push the pace car to go a little bit faster right now, as the lights on the pace car are going out as they go into the final turn. It's all in Bennett's control now. How is he going to start off the first restart of the night? And pace car's pulling off, and we're going back to green. Good start by Adam Blocker. I think he read Henry's start pattern perfectly right there, and he's actually gained time on them.
Oh, but that's very close to the wall for Adam Blocker.
Blocker's going to try to use as much of the track that as he can to get into to get close to Ben and maybe try to pass him. But knowing Blocker, he likes to explore the track just a little bit. But we've all seen how consistent he is when he's won the Indy 500. And we have another caution out, and that is Aaron Roos on the back straight. And that
that looks like, again, front wing damage.
Yeah, it's front wing damage and suspension damage. I think he got into the wall exactly the same way. Yep, spun it out of the corner. And possibly into another car.
Yeah, just the exact same spot. He ran a little bit wide on the exit and just got loose by getting back on power.
Like we said, the track at the very start, the track is very slippery. It's not rubbered in really out there. More of the rubbered in all the street stock cars, you get it onto the inside line. But on these cars, it's kind of in the middle. Once you get out of that darker area, you're going to start spinning out, especially if you're way too antsy on the throttle. You don't have banking to hold the car down. You're going to have oh, that was a good fake by Brazil.
Yeah, we do have some cars coming into the pit lane.
This is the strength of field race. It is the open series. So the series you see on iRacing at 4 p.m. EST for the IndyCar Road Series. It is this broadcast race. So next week we will be at Motorsport in Canada. And if you are in the top split, you'll get to be on the broadcast.
Yeah, and right now the chance of getting the top split are looking very good because we only had one split tonight.
100% actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. If you signed up for today, it would have been 100%. We've been splitting for the past few weeks. I remember Atlanta and Vegas, they did split at 14 drivers, even though to split the race, you would need 27, I believe, is the max field. So next week at Motorsport is going to be a good field, but the week after that, I believe will be our first full grid because we'll be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our own 100-lap race.
You know it's gonna be more than just one or two splits, I think.
Oh, it's gonna be the entire iRacing community. Because there is a certain IndyCar event coming up in the month of November. It is the Open Wheels 500. So
yeah, that's a good way to get some practice.
Practice.
Yeah, exactly.
So second caution of the night. Both, I think we got 2 laps in that run, did we?
I think so. But so far, I think the pace car has been leading the most laps.
Yes, pace car has definitely been leading the most laps. I'm counting, I think 8 right now. Yes, now it's 8.
But so far, pretty calm at the front. We still have 1 or 2 in the same position that they started.
Now on that restart, we saw Adam Blocker read Bennett's restart. Is Bennett going to try to change that this time? Or is he going to try something new or keep doing the same thing? Because if it's the same thing, Adam Blocker might try to jump him.
And here we go.
Lights in the pace car are off. All the cars dart to the outside line to avoid anybody launching on them. But look how close Blocker is to Bennett. Bennett's not all the way on the outside line. I think Bennett's going to try to go for a very late launch here. As the pace car pulls in and we are getting ready to go racing. And here we go. And look at the start from Blocker.
Very good reactions from there. From Blocker right there. But also Downing, he is not too far behind.
John Downing, we saw him in our first broadcasting race at Phoenix. So close to taking the win, and on the last lap, puts it in the wall. And he's just been sitting in second and third place. Has been trying to close back in on the lead, and it is feel for the guy. He's definitely looking for some redemption as gaggle of cars are going on as that's Thomas Geiser.
Yeah, he is having issue. I think that might be from the damage from the first yellow that we had.
It's very difficult to get a setup for this car. You would just assume just put all high downforce in Pendleton Mel, but no, you see the so little drag that these cars have. That's why you see a lot of people being very finicky in these corners.
Yeah, I'm also looking like now these two are actually opening up a sizable gap to the top place.
Well, they are two of the best IndyCar oval drivers on iRacing, and you would expect that. Henry Bennett's actually more of a road guy, but wow, he's got stuff. We got to crash on backstretch. Oh no, that's Walsh in Brazil. Once again, the two guys getting into it. They got into it in Vegas, and once again, they get into it here in Milwaukee. And oh, that's just Brazil getting into the wall, and Walsh was right there, unfortunately, getting collected in that incident.
Yeah, I think that might be race over for both of them. But I mean, that's just what's gonna happen if you are racing with the guys who are pretty much equal on your pace. So that's unfortunately the guys who are you're also going to have the incidents with.
Yeah, I hope you can't hear my headphones right now because the voice chat is just going absolutely nuts from Brazil.
Yeah, no worries, we cannot hear them. I'm assuming that they are maybe not something we can.
Yeah, no, we can't really use that. Just they're not happy.
Well, I hope that if they decide to come for the interview after the race, they have kind of cooled down a bit at that point, as everyone is pulling into the pit lane.
And Bennett jumps out first, followed up by Blocker in second, and Downey in third. The race off of pit road. I think Gearhart and Burke has jumped Gearhart. Shane Burke up into fourth after that pit road.
Yeah, that was a... Let's see, the pit lane times, they are all about the same, but it was just very good entry, I guess, from Burke. Actually, let me just take that back. That was almost 1 second faster pit lane time from Burke than everyone else.
Yeah, Shane Burke put in a total pit stop time of a 28 second 0.13, and everyone else behind him put in a 29. The only guys faster are really John Downing and Henry Bennett with 28.63s, and they had a 7-second pit stop time in the box.
Yeah, that's right. But also, it really matters how well you enter and exit as well. Because there's only so much you can do with the strategy at this point. Everyone is going to just take the full tank and no tires.
Yeah, full tank, all tires. We aren't going to have anyone go on to some crazy strategy. And it's not the full tank that they're filling up. It's just a little handful because they've done about 5 actual racing laps so far. And just really a splash and go and 4 tires. And with the fuel nozzles they use in IndyCar, it's very fast fueling. So we have... I believe the lights are off. Yes, they are off. Are they off? Yes.
They should be.
All right. Last pace around, and then we should go back to racing. 13 cars remain here in Milwaukee. Just 20 laps in. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Again, Blocker really following closely.
Yeah, Blocker's been nailing his restarts on Bennett. We'll see if Bennett tries to change it up right now because Blocker's been guessing them on points. They're bunching up a lot. Bennett's off the pace, and here goes Bennett. Blocker right behind.
This time around, not as good as reaction from Blocker, but he's able to just keep up. John Downing maybe a little bit better again than last time. But now these two guys are starting to run away. Walker is really able to follow in on the entries.
Walker Bennett back up front and doing what they do best, leading off races and having big old fast fights.
With these two guys, I mean, it might help them to work together, but I don't think they really need it because their pace is so much faster than the rest of the field.
Yeah, they've already have a 1.3 second gap to Downing, and if just look at the times, they're 0.5 faster than him. With the rest
really
of the
behind
field
them,
right
that's
behind.
much more even here.
They're right behind. Everyone's starting to get out of that dirty air and just separate off and get ready with the program. The real closest one, I believe, will be the battle for 12th place between Thomas Geisier and Aaron Rufus. And both these guys have been involved in incidents at the start of this race, and hopefully they can keep out of each other's ways, but they're going to have their own little fight between them.
I believe Rose will be going past because Kessler is running so far off the pace due to the damage.
Well, Rufus also has damage. Remember that.
That's a good point.
And Roof's round the outside of turn 1. Oh, hit the wall! And he avoids the wall as they're going side by side. And Roof's coast past him for P12.
Yeah, ahead of him is Nick Atorina, but I believe Nick might be running a little bit faster and perhaps less damage.
Less damage, less traffic, just going for a calm race. Calm first start of the race. And speaking of which, we are currently on our longest green flag run.
Well, that's nice.
Hopefully we don't jinx that.
I mean, we never do.
Yeah, when have we ever jinxed something before?
Never.
Never.
I mean, Marco is not here.
There was
so...
that one time. Looking at the battle for 4th place right now between Gearhart and Burke. And Shane's been putting in some nice laps. His last one not the best one, but Gearhart putting in faster laps than Shane, staying in his drafts, getting that draft and getting some ground on the straights. And these cars don't have push to pass on the ovals like they do on the road courses, even though they're in the road course spec car. They just use that aero package on the small track ovals. For those who don't know the IndyCar aero kits.
Yeah, and here when you don't have to push to pass, and also you don't have the banking really to assist you, it is going to be really slippery following someone in the very close draft.
That's what makes Milwaukee such fun and a pain to drive. As it looks like the battle for 8th is heating up right now. Between Lejevic and Thompson.
This might also include Ty Kevant running 7th. He's only about 9 tenths ahead of these two.
Yeah, they're closing in on Kevith.
Well, right now running more or less same lap times. Ty is picking up slightly. Maybe he just saw the difference. But really getting close with these two right now, and I think that might be Riley Thompson making for a move very soon here.
Yeah, Thompson up onto the inside. Lejevic's Riley Thompson has the inside line. Lejevic's going around the outside. Joan tried to go for that switchback move. You don't really see that on an oval. But Luka Lejevic loses P8 to Riley Thompson.
Yeah, just taking a look at these lines. He is falling back slightly already. Being very careful here on the exit. Do not repeat the same incident that we saw 2 times actually before, even like 10 laps in.
And The lap car getting in Keveth's way, and this will bring Riley Thompson right on the back of Ty Keveth. He's just going around the outside of that lap car, and he makes a lot faster time around him. And now Riley Thompson has caught up to Ty Keveth. We have a 3-car fight.
Well, that's good to see.
Yep. It looks like Lejevic is still stuck behind Geiser.
Yeah, actually, Thompson is really close now to Kenneth. And where is... oh, here's Luca. He has now made the pass.
He couldn't get past the lap car on that corner. Didn't want to risk around the outside to move, so he had to stay behind him.
Yep, I think we've seen so far that you really don't want to run too wide on the outside line here.
I believe at the first 3 cautions, everyone got that in their mind.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Running wide doesn't mean a good time.
No, and especially as the race goes on, I would imagine it will be getting really dirty there on slippery.
And you saw in the back stretch right there, the 2 leaders have caught up with each other as Riley Thompson up onto the inside of Keveth. In the final corner, stays ahead, and Riley Thompson moves up into P7.
Very nice and clean move there, as they also come across lap traffic. Plenty of space given, so no issues there. And as you were saying, here are our leaders still together. No change in their positions.
Yeah, Blocker and Bennett racing with each other, staying good, staying clean. As looks like Blocker went for a dive around the outside, but they have 2 lap cars ahead of him. That is Walsh and Rufus. And here comes Blocker up the inside of Bennett, using the lap traffic to block Bennett. And now Blocker has the inside line on Bennett. This is a great move by Blocker. But Bennett has the outside line, and the lap cars are giving them a little bit of a hassle, but Bennett defends from Blocker.
Yeah, that was an excellent move by Blocker, using the lap traffic. But it just didn't pay out because he was then forced to take the much tighter inside line, which cost him the exit speed, and Bennett was able to get back.
The attempt was there, and now Blocker's going to rest, regroup, and try to close back up. We do have another pair of lap cars right ahead of us. That is the battle for 8th between Lejevic and Keveth now. So this might get a little bit tasty as the battle for 8th and the battle for the lead. And there's Blocker again. Blocker up the inside into turn 1. Lap cars on the outside. It's going to be ahead of Bennett, Blocker, and Bennett. They're still kind of side by side, but Blocker takes the lead here in Milwaukee.
But again, Bennett is coming back.
Turn 4's been very nice to Bennett. They do have another lap car. Let's ride on board with Henry Bennett for this lap. Try to follow Adam Blocker's lines. Blocker staying to the wall. Keveth staying onto that inside line. Here comes Bennett around the outside. It's been very fast in the Blocker through this turn, but I believe that was just traffic being at scores. But that lap traffic putting Bennett off his line just a little bit. As we can see, he was 3/10 slower than Blocker that last lap.
Yeah, the traffic really didn't do him many favors. He wasn't able to get the low down here, as you see this time around, because there was the lap car there, and that kind of cost him few tenths instantly.
Yeah, the lap traffic of Keveth and Lejevic been not paying off. And speaking of those two, we're having a little bit of a battle right behind. It's a 3-way fight between Walsh, Keveth, and Lejevic.
Yeah, just a moment ago they were really close here.
Yeah, very close in turn 4. We see Walsh and Keveth taking 2 different lines. Walsh going onto that inside line, and then having a very different exit out of turn 4.
Still keeping within about 4 tenths. Now falls back slightly.
And Walsh is a very interesting character in the NTT Indycar series. Most of the races he... No, this is not Walsh. Who am I
Yes,
talking
it is. Or
Nah,
are you talking to someone else?
I'm going to factor somebody else.
Okay.
Name just completely just passed my mind. Walsh was the original winner at Phoenix, and then he had another win. I'm just trying to put my finger on it.
As Aaron Rooks comes to the pit lane.
Yeah, Rooks taking an early stop. Green flag pit stops here in Milwaukee are very interesting, and we might see some drivers do that, replace the tires just a little bit. You feel the tires go away with a pit lane here. It's on the front straight. It's a very small pit entrance. We see that from that one small camera. But as we look back at that pit entrance, it's very small and very tricky. As Kaveth getting all over, getting a little bit of a nose job from Walsh as Walsh goes up the inside of Kaveth, and Walsh sneaks past 4P9.
Right behind him is the Downing coming through, hoping to pass these lap cars without too much issues. Just to take a quick look at the front, it seems like the gap is starting to open up here, so it's about 2 seconds between Polkar and Bennett right now. Downing is about 6.5 seconds away from Bennett, so right now the gaps are starting to open up. So at this point, who knows, maybe we will have a caution soon. You never know.
Green flag pit stops always bring out something crazy. Remember, in Vegas, on the pit exit, Walsh and Brazil did a green flag pit stop, and Walsh on the exit spun up his tires and came up the track into Brazil, which turned the race on his head, which gave us probably the most crazy green flag sprint finish I have ever seen.
Yes, unfortunately right now Brazil has retired from the race, so we have 12 cars running.
Quote from one of the races in here, they had no clue how they went around. It's very unfortunate. This track will get you no matter how careful you are on the throttle. Riley Thompson's making it nice, and what team is he racing for? I'm trying to read out the letters on the side, but he's moving so fast for me to see it. That's AOR?
Let's see, can we find...
Oh, TDR. Howdy, howdy, Aaron. Nice to have you in the chat as always. Thank you for supporting the stream. And sadly, Markov's not here currently. I believe he's on the road back home. He had to stay late marshaling the FIA World Games today. They were holding a drifting competition. It was late at night, so Marco's been a busy boy. But we got Sammy instead.
Yep, and we never know. Like, maybe we will see sudden appearance of Marco here.
Thank you, Rob. Total Downforce Racing. Whenever I see an acronym, I'm trying to figure it out, but Riley Thompson for Total Downforce Racing. Up a spot, sitting in 7th place. He's going to be very happy so far. So we're 60 laps in out of 150 here at Milwaukee Mile. And really, in this green flag run, the race has kind of flown by like that.
Yeah, it's been
a short lap here.
Yeah. And who do we have on the pit lane? We have... oh, no, it's not
Walsh.
pit lane. Walsh has disappeared.
I believe that was just a little bit connection issue for him. I saw a car pop out of existence. He should be popping back very soon, unless he he suffered a computer issue.
I would hope so, because he is still not here, and we would definitely like to see him back on the track.
Yeah, I always love his car. It's a interesting paint scheme, Fortnite car, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's ahead of most of the other people, and it's a very nice car to look at.
yeah, and I mean, if you saw the competition for the ugliest liveries, I mean, I'm glad to look at that car rather than one of those.
Yeah, the winner of that livery contest was I think I had a nightmare of it. I tried entering it, and I'm just like, I can't get anything that. I can't. It takes skill to do that.
Yeah, it takes a talent to make something truly awful, and sadly, I had no talent either. But these guys certainly do. They are really closing. This Riley Thompson closing into Rodriguez.
Yeah, Thompson closing on Rodriguez, that lap car moving out of the way for both these two. And the battle for 6th place is heating up, as John Downing might have a little say in this fight. As Rodriguez going slow out of turn 4, diving out to the inside line. Here comes Thompson. But Thompson being blocked up as they move up the track. But here's Thompson up onto the inside. The TDR car dives it into the corner and off the exit. Riley Thompson moves up into 6th place. But here comes Rodriguez, not wanting anything about it. And Rodriguez unfortunately couldn't get that corner off. And here comes John Downing to get to get past, and I believe Downing might be a little bit of a crutch for Rodriguez.
Yeah, this really didn't work out for Rodriguez here. But let's see, he might be able to follow Downing here and just stay up, save some fuel perhaps. But at the same time, we have Luca here approaching for that 7th place now.
Lejevic on the back of Rodriguez, and he kind of closed up on them without us really knowing.
Let's look at the lap times. Yeah, it's like few laps where he was just closing in massively. But now they are more or less in the same lap time range.
Yeah, I believe those 3 laps, Rodriguez was in that fight with Thompson, then he had Downing to deal with. So that might be the issue.
And that also just shows you how much time you can lose if you keep battling.
Indeed.
Something's happening here because Berg is suddenly losing a lot of time.
That is right, he is. I just looked at his last lap, and 7/10 slower than Gerhardt. And Gerhardt closing in on Shane Berg. He might have some dead tires and might be looking to do a green flag pit stop very soon.
Now it
they
seems
went
like
to the box on lap 16.
Yeah. Last time by Berg's lap time was only 1/10 faster than previous, so
May have just been a bad lap.
Possibly. Yeah, now the gap is opening up again, so could have been just low exit, and that just kills the momentum for a lap or 2. But both of them kind of staying there around the middle and not going really low on the apex.
Yeah, see, Bert favoring a wider line, as the Simtech cars usually have a their own little setup network that they do. And these green flag stops, I really hope we do get them, because they really turned the game on its head.
Yeah, you could lose a few laps, I imagine, the green flag stop. But then again, it kind of changes it up.
Change it up and set him free is what usually happens as they're approaching the lapped car of lead. That is Paul Morgan. No, that is not. That's Geiser.
On.
That's Alternative.
So who was that? Yeah, it
that was Geiser.
Geisler. Yeah, Geisler.
And it looks like that little incident has closed up the gap for my Gerhardt and Downey to chase each other now.
Yeah, really close once again. Maybe Borg is just a little bit struggling whenever he enters traffic. Oh, and that is big dive.
Well, she sent it side by side out of the exit. Burke and Gerhardt. Burke chops the nose and stays in P5. Great run from Burke.
I just want to take a look at back and see actually what started that. So
it was just a send.
Yeah.
And now here's John Downing to lap him once more. It's always kind of gives you that smile in your face as Riley Thompson heads into the pit lane for his stop. When you lap the car that's immediately behind you, gives you a pretty big smile.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah, because that's Shane Borg on P4. That is Downing on P3 coming to lap.
Yeah, and that car in the background is the leader of Adam Blocker. And we do have some cars in the pit lane right now, so green flag stops are underway. John Downey going up the inside of Burke and lapping, well, P3 lapping P4. As that's Lejevic coming into the pit lane, as well with Kevith.
Yep. Right now everyone is kind of having to make their green flag stops. I think what we really need to be looking at is Burke and Gerhardt.
There's Adam Blocker in the middle of all that, and he's going to try to get around them as easy and fast as he can. Coast by Burke up onto the inside, and I think Burke and Gerhardt are side by side right behind him.
Not quite side by side, but very close.
For a bit they were. And here goes Burke. Burke going onto the inside. I think Burke is going into the pit lane. Burke is going to the pit lane. Gerhardt gets into the back of him. Burke saved it though and gets into the pit lane. We are still under green flag, but I think that's some miscommunication from Burke and Gerhardt as she gets into the back of him as he was following Blocker into the pit lane.
Yeah, it looked like Gerhardt was just not expecting it. Let's see.
Now it's still Shane Burke go from outside to inside, and here comes Gerhardt, and Burke was already ready to go into pit lane, but what a save by Shane Burke to keep us under green flag racing here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Also, Henry Bennett is in the pits.
Bennett in the pits. Blocker's pit lane time was a 31.53. And here comes Downing out of his... Here comes Bennett out of his pit stop. He's gained a second on him. 30.55 for Henry Bennett. But the gap between them was so big, and now they're on fresh tires. They can have extra grip. They can push the car a little bit more, but not too much. This track's a little bit more rubbered in. still gotta be pretty careful on it, as Bennett is starting to get his charge on Adam Blocker. As Gonzalez, Rodriguez, and Lejevic are going side by side.
Rodriguez, when did he make his pit stop? Lap 82, so these guys don't need to come into the pits.
Yeah, they're fresh.
And look at the platforms here, everyone has pitted now, so we should be expecting another long run here.
I think we should be expecting a race to the green. It was about 50 laps, 16 to 85. So I think we're expecting another green flag stop or another pit stop at least once we get into the lap 100 range, and with 50 laps to go, because it's about a 60 lap run for these cars.
Yeah, I think so, more or less. Yeah, because at the start we had the basic like 15 laps of caution, I think. Almost.
Yes. And a little message from Aaron that don't think Burke would let Gerhardt know that he was pitting. Yeah, it was I believe a little bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, at least when we were on board with Burke, we did hear that he lifted on the exit. So, at least to me, it seemed like he was pitting in. But of course, if you are following so closely, then you kind of have to react to it. And at that point, when everyone else is pitting, you would also kind of have to be aware of it.
So we see Gerhardt and Thompson right up with each other as they're approaching lap traffic. And oh, Thompson into the back of Antonia, and here comes Gerhardt. They're 3 wide on the back straight, and Gerhardt steals the move from Thompson.
But now Gerhardt got blocked by the traffic.
The traffic blocking Gerhardt, and here goes Thompson. Thompson gets back ahead of Gerhardt. Great racing back here. They're using safety before position. They know the race is not always run on the same lap that you're on. And to get past lap traffic, you need to do it safely, even if you're in a battle.
Yeah, let's just take a look on board Riley Thompson to see how it kind of played out. Because I think here, first Thompson gets blocked by the traffic.
Very close. Almost gets it to the side of Nick Antonia right there. The Gerhardt swoops in onto his inside, and then Gerhardt gets blocked by Geisler, and here comes Riley Thompson up the inside of Laura. Man, lap traffic being a pain in the butt for both of them, but they got through it safely. Almost a collision with Riley right there, but no real incidents between them.
Yeah, both got kind of same amount of bad luck there. But here they go.
Yeah, here they go. The next car up ahead is about 9 seconds, and it's somebody right behind him and somebody on the pace. But here comes Laura on Riley. She is setting him up. Who's going to have the better exit? Riley went in for the entrance, but here comes Laura up onto the exit, up onto the inside. Side by side down the front tracks in Milwaukee. Laura Gerhardt, is she going to send it to turn 1? Yes, she does, but watch out for Riley on that exit. Oh, they're still doing it. Laura has the advantage. Riley can try anything he can. He might try that switchback move we saw him try to go for, but no, Laura Gerhardt takes P4 unassisted by any traffic that time.
Yeah, he was just so much faster off the corner. I don't know, maybe Riley is just kind of saving the rear tires, not wanting to punish them too hard on the exits.
Yeah, Riley Thompson's not wanting to risk his car and trying to push it as hard as he can, as they're just going to look after the tires and put down the laps and try to stay in P5, because Riley Thompson's been having a great race. They're up 3 spots from where they qualified. Biggest mover so far is Luka Lujevic in P7, up 9 spots.
As we just passed the 100 laps. Look at the gaps. It seems like there is basically just that's interesting. It seems like the gap for the lead is actually not opening that much. I think it has come down to 2.7 seconds. But then we have a massive 20-second gap to third place, John Downing. And then over a lap between Downing and Gerhard. Thomas Weisler.
Ooh, he's headed to the pits. Don't see any damage on that car, do you?
I mean, he does some damage, that's something we know, but I believe he's also a little bit
no, he
off the
does
cycle.
have damage. Look at that front wing. Looks like it got into the wall.
Let's see, can we actually see where it happened? No, it has happened before already.
Where we got that from? Also, his side pod's absolutely destroyed.
Okay, so that might have been some meeting with the wall somewhere out there.
Yeah, meeting, a handshake, and then a business deal. Because that car is absolutely wrecked.
Yeah, he just hasn't had a great night here. Got involved in basically the first incident there. I believe he was the first car who came to the pit lane. And that might be it for Thomas here.
Yeah, he's out of the car. Adam Blocker putting on a showcase right now as looks like Henry Bennett is stuck behind 4 laps cars and John Downing. Well, 3 laps cars.
Oh, yes he is. That is going to cost a lot of time.
That's Downing ahead of him, and I believe Downing's is already a lap down to Bennett and Blocker.
Not yet. I believe they are still...
No, they are not on... Oh, yeah. They are still technically on the same lap. But Blocker has lapped the entire field.
Yeah.
Up to 3rd place.
And now Bennett is also trying to put the lap down on Downing.
He's got Burt to deal with and Atornia. And they're not letting him by. They certainly aren't making it easy because they have to do some lap traffic themselves, but Bennett's not going to win at all. And he's going to take 2 spots in 1 quarter.
Yeah, he just went for it. I mean...
He didn't want to be held up, and he wanted to chase down Downing.
Yeah, I think he was just looking at, okay, this has taken long enough, let's just go for it.
Yeah, he lost 4 seconds behind them to Blocker.
Yeah, at this point I think Henry just needs a caution to really fight for the win. The gap is just too large at this point.
Yeah, I think a few of these guys who have a car just a mile away or another lap ahead if you're if you are the lucky dog. I don't believe they do that in IndyCar, but I'm just going to say they do. No, they don't. Yeah, that's a NASCAR thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think...
I'm just trying to make my brain work right now.
Hey, you are the resident oval professional here.
Even though I've never raced an oval in my life in my professional career, I've only raced road courses.
Well, I guess that's gonna... Anyways, I think like if we are about to see action somewhere, it will be here in the midfield with Thompson, Gerard, Rodriguez. They are still relatively close to each other, so anything can happen. A little bit of slowdown with the traffic and they're right on it.
Yeah, okay. Aaron has cleared my confusion. No lucky dog, but but the car's in front of the leader and behind pace car, you get a wave around. All right, thank you, Savvy. Hopefully, we have a better race in Canada next week. We're looking at Alberto Gonzalez Rodriguez sitting in P6, got clean air ahead of him.
Clean air, clean track. So far, no issues.
And you can blame Sammy if you get an incident very soon. I saw a big old tire mark in that wall.
That could have been maybe from Geisler.
We have a few tire marks and a few walls, but it's in that exact corner. It's just this one giant tire mark. Look to your right now. You just see it. Boom.
Yep. And Rodriguez doing his best to not add to any of those. And I think he has been keeping fairly clean all throughout the race.
Yeah, he's moved up 8 spots. Been very clean. Luka Lejevic actually goes in for a pit stop. A very early pit stop, some will say, for Lejevic. But I think he's going to use this one for safety and try to undercut the field as we're almost within 25 laps to go here at Milwaukee.
And also Riley Thompson coming in.
Him. So like I said, green flag pit stops underway for round 2 here in the Milwaukee Mile. And oh, Riley Thompson was just a little bit too far in the box and had to reverse a little bit. That's going to hurt him.
Yeah, at least luckily for him, these cars actually have reverse, so would have been a long way around otherwise.
Yeah, a very long way around, and probably a frustrating way around. I believe he would have fuel in his tank, but some of these cases you'll just see guys just sputtering out with fuel and just coasting into the pit lane and unable to reverse.
And here we have now the battle between Lekevi and Atorina. Actually, it looks like Atorina is just giving up the position.
Yeah,
he is still on much older tires. Yeah.
Easy. And actually, Riley Thompson has got out of the car.
Okay, that's interesting. We did not see him having issues, but...
No.
Did he actually get out of the pit lane?
He was leaving the pit lane, and then he just...
Did he get the speeding penalty? Because that was really early off the pit lane limiter.
You know, it might have been.
And do we see him sitting in?
Oh, that's...
You know what? That's incident limit, I guess. Yeah.
He got disqualified. That's what happened.
That's...
unfortunate.
Yeah, only 20 more laps or so to go. But it also did seem like a lot like a speeding penalty there on the exit.
A speeding penalty and then a spin, but he got blipped in the middle of the spin, so it was a disqualification. I'm just trying to think where he got 17 X's from.
Yeah,
Actually, 0x, but a lot of things going wrong.
Okay.
So he was disqualified or not? Or does things gone wrong and you just blipped out right there?
Or maybe disconnect. Or game crash. Because yeah, I mean it was...
Let us know.
Yeah, I mean at that point he wasn't sideways enough to get that 2x.
Okay, so he was 0x.
Yeah, on our times of there I don't see any incidents for him.
Back up front, Adam Blocker leading the field to lap 132 out of 150, and less than 20 laps to go, boys and girl. Let's have some fun. We'll see if Blocker tries to go stretch out these tires all the way and just goes for the 2-stop here, or we'll try to see if a 3-stop might work for Bennett and Downing.
I think for Blocker his strategy will really depend on what Bennett does. Because if Bennett also takes the tires, there's no harm in Blocker taking the tires as well. He basically just needs to copy what Bennett does. And he is guaranteed to maintain the difference.
It's going to be a risk to extend these tires all the way and the car, because I don't think it has the fuel mileage to do that. Because in that long green flag run, it was about 60 laps when they came out, and they came out on lap 82. 85, thank you for that.
Actually, yeah, that is 85 for Blocker, but 86 for Bennett.
Now, if they had 60 on that, that would be about lap 120. So they are in the pit window for another pit stop, but I think they're going to try to extend it as much as they can. And they might be running some lower fuel modes.
That is possible, but I'm not seeing that in the lap times, at least so far. Because between these two, I think Blocker would be the one who would be saving the fuel the most, since he is down 1 lap compared to Bennett. And we do still have, for example, Ty Kemet, who is running, and he pitted on lap 80.
That is true. Actually, Nick Tornia pitted on lap 78.
So these guys might be the benchmark for our leaders to see how far can they stretch their tires.
True. Well, either way, we're going into crunch time mode as we're closing in on 10 laps to go.
And suddenly it's getting really close for the 7th place here.
Oh yeah, 3rd and 4th, close with each other. But the battle in between that little fight is the battle for 7th. Between Kevin and Lejevic. Ty Kevin looking up that inside, sends it up the inside. Lejevic and where's that Staples button? Because that was easy.
Yeah, he made it look easy. Kevin not really following close, just staying wide. Maybe just trying to coast and save as much speed and fuel as possible. No, Kevin is really funny, but that might be some issues for him.
Yeah, I think Kevin's just wanting to run his own race. He did. Lejevic did recently just come into the pit, so we can see the newer tires working against Kevin. He was able to send that car into the corners, and he's absolutely just flown away from Kevin.
Yeah, good one there, because I'm just looking at the event and it's not like he's saving fuel, so it just has to be his tires that are basically gone.
Yeah, tire's gone, and he's just going to try to coast it to the end and look forward to Canada. And something to say on our live timing software, which is brought to you by SDK Gaming, and if you want probably the best live timing software available on the market for iRacing, go to sdkgaming.com and well, SDK Gaming, is it .com or .co.uk?
I should know it, but I believe it is sdk-gaming.co.uk.
All right, SDK Gaming dash SDK, yeah, it is SDK-gaming.co.uk, and you can find details on how to get this live timing up. We do have access to the iRating predictions going up and down, and I must say, everybody currently on track is still racing is going to be gaining iRating for this race.
Yeah, the big gainer so far would be Rodriguez. That's a healthy 70 points for him.
Yeah, 70. The A-class driver going to be very happy about that. And a Lotus safety rating, too. As I believe Adam Blocker has a few laps to go before he takes the checker flag, and I think we should get these last few laps for him.
Yeah, let's go on board. Really smooth there, getting all the way down to the apron.
Also, don't believe they're I don't believe they're with each other. No, they are. No, they aren't. Okay.
Who would
on our minimap? It's showing that 9th and 8th are right on each other, but Nick is a lap down to Kevin.
Yeah, that's right. There's 46 seconds difference between them, I believe.
Well, I'm going to try to interpret Marco as best I can. It's Sarah LeBlanca. Last lap here in Milwaukee.
Well, I hope Marco is following the broadcast and can rate your performance.
It'll probably give me like a 3. I know I messed it up completely, but taking the final corner and coming across the line in a dominating victory, Adam Blocker takes the win here at the Milwaukee Mile for the NTT Indycar Open Series. And dominating is right. Him and Bennett have lapped the entire field up to 3rd place. Wow. I believe Blocker's going to give us a little bit of show right now. So he's going to bring us some smoke here on the front straight in Milwaukee. Bennett's going to join him, and we're going to have a little bit of a duo celebration.
Well, they are certainly keeping us waiting. Or are they just waving to each other?
Putting in the good old number 11s down the front straight. And here starts the donuts. Congrats to Adam Blocker. What a win. And I think he went into the wall there. Not going to blame him. Donuts are hard. As Bennett's just going to do some donuts as well and give us more smoke to have it. And I believe it's time to run through the grid and the results for this wonderful race at the Milwaukee Mile.
Let me see why that was not showing up.
And we're going to run through the grid here at the Milwaukee Mile.
Well, you can start running it. I will show it on the screen as soon as I find the button.
I'll just freehand it. Adam Blocker takes the win, followed up by Henry Bennett in 2nd. John Downing takes 3rd. He's going to be happy with that performance. He's followed up by Laura Gearhart in 4th place. Taking 5th is Alberto Gonzalez Rodriguez, who's going to be very happy with that performance. Our biggest mover, in fact, up 9 spots. in 5th place. And then finishing in 6th place, it is Shane Burke. And the number 7 car, going to be very happy about that position. Finishing instead, Luka Lejevic, up 9 spots as well. Number 16 car in P7. Always got to be happy about that. He's followed up by Ty Keveth in P8. And in P9, it's Nick Antonia. They're followed up by Thompson, Geyser, Walsh, Rufus, Brazil, Lamb, Plunkett, and Morgan. And that finishes up the grid here. And the results here at the Milwaukee Mile. And I do believe we have some drivers waiting for an interview.
I do hope so, because we had drivers contacting us asking for the details.
Yeah, let's get the Discord. Yes, there it is. And I think Marco is in the chat as well. Is he?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Darn. I was looking. I'm just gonna have to wait for that rating of my pronunciation of last lap scale. But a little sum up of the race. Very interesting start, chaotic, and then after lap 16, it was a nice clean sailing for the drivers, and some few close calls, but the battle up front between Blocker and Bennett, just once Blocker got past Bennett, nothing was holding him back.
No, I think, yeah, it was like a race between these two guys, and then we had Downing basically on his own category there. But like in the midfield around 6th, 7th place, 8th place, we had good battles there. But we do now have some guys for the interviews.
Yeah, we have Adam Blocker and Henry Bennett. So, you want to take Bennett first or Blocker first?
You can choose whoever you want.
All right, PT first. Howdy. Henry, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
How's that race with Blocker?
Oh, it was good while it lasted, but yeah, obviously I'm not as good in traffic. So yeah, he got the better of me then, and yeah, after the caution, he had just enough gap. That last stint, I was catching him. I think before the pit stops were like 5-6 seconds, but after the pit stops, I got it down to 3 seconds. But then I hit this wall of lap traffic. P3 just didn't want to let me by, so yeah, lost loads of time there, maybe 7-8 seconds. So yeah,
we were watching you get stuck up from there. You didn't look frustrated from your car. You didn't want to make any daring moves down the inside, so you kept safety in your mind, which is always nice in my mind. But lap traffic was going to be the game here today, but also on the restarts. Looks like Blocker was gaining some time on you on the restarts. He was reading your jumps. Were you using the same go-to method, or were you trying to switch it up?
I don't really have a method. I just
you just
make it up as I go along. But yeah, with the really cold track, cold tires, you have to be really careful on the restarts. And being the number one car, but having the number one on my car in the race, it does make you a bit more cautious than if you were, say, the number 16 car.
That is true. The number 16 car gained up a lot of places. He was actually the biggest mover.
Oh yeah.
In this race.
But yeah, sorry, go.
But yeah, let's bring in Adam, and you two can chat about your race. Howdy, Adam. Congrats on the win.
Yeah, thanks.
So P2 beside Henry Bennett on that restart. It actually looked like you were getting jumped by Brazil, but you held it around when that caution came out, and then on all the restarts you were jumping Bennett's start. Were you reading that, or were you just guessing when he was going?
Well, one time I think I got a really good guess, but I think maybe Henry was managing the throttle a little bit, worried about wheel spin, and I was just sort of testing out the wheel spin on the back straight and then just going for it on the front straight, and ultimately I wasn't able to get a good enough run on any of the restarts to pass him. So, but yeah, I kind of figured basically the same pace in clean air, but I was just looking for an opportunity in traffic. Yeah, and I eventually got it. He just got a bad run behind some lap cars, and was able to take advantage of it out of 3 and 4. So
Yeah, Henry was talking about lap traffic being a problem. Were you aware of that problem going into this race?
I mean, yeah, any traffic is always an issue at Milwaukee, just because it's really a flat track, and so any sort of arrow watch. There's basically a one-line track, and with these cars, you get arrow watch when you follow people, so it's really tough to maneuver in traffic. So you kind of either just have to find that half car width off the normal line, or just sort of anticipate what line the lap traffic is going to do, so you can sort of take advantage of their weak point in the lap. I noticed a couple of guys were overdriving 1 and 2, so I would set up high at the beginning 1 and 2, and then undercut and pass into 3 and 4. Or some guys would just leave a little bit of bottom open, so I'd pinch my entry just to get clean air all the way around and pass them on the inside. So I just kind of had to anticipate what each one was going to do and just react.
All right, thank you for that. This next one is for both of you. Canada Motorsport is next week. Will we be seeing you there?
Yes, love the track. It's basically a blast through the forest with one hairpin. So yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, definitely going to do Monday. Try to make Friday if I can. Motorsport's a ton of fun in this car. It's basically turn 1 and turn 2 are basically flat out with the right setup. So yeah, definitely going to be pretty fun. It's always it's one of the fastest tracks we go to.
All right, we will hope to see you there next week. Before we head out, anybody y'all want to shout out?
I'd like to thank Adam for a great race and for making the setup, and you guys for broadcasting.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for broadcasting the race. It's pretty big to our community for you guys to do that, and I just want to thank Powerslide for all the work.
All right, thank you too, and everybody for giving us a great show week after week, and it's just always fun. And thank you everybody in the chat who watches and supports the stream, and thank you Sammy for the broadcast notes and broadcasting a fill-in for Marco, who was busy marshalling for the FAA games today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I think I might need to tune in next week as well.
All right. Well, we'll see you then. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for today's race here at the Milwaukee Wild. We'll see you next week at Motorsport. I'm Austin Knight, and y'all have a great night.